Here we are. Hi, everyone. Comment in the chat if you're joining us live. Say hi to Elise. I want to thank Elise so much for joining me tonight, you guys. I have been so blessed to work with this beautiful young lady. She's someone that really has I don't know, she's warmed my heart over the last 12 weeks, and I'm sad that she's no longer working with me, but she's still working out with me, so I'm super excited for that. But yeah, there's Danita. Hey, Danita. Yeah, so I know Elise can't see the comments, but I'll try to share them with you, Elise, as we're going through this. But yeah, you guys, I just wanted to, first of all, thank Elise for being here. Super thankful for this. And also just for your journey and sharing it with me. Because I know sometimes like the weight loss journey is really personal. There's lots of obstacles we have to overcome, a lot of like soul searching and digging, and a lot of things are uncovered that are not always comfortable. We're kind of forced to share these emotions and really go deep into why things haven't worked before. And so that's really what we went through on this journey. And so I want to thank you for being open to doing this with me, because I get a lot of questions about what it's like to not only be a part of Create My Weight, but also to be coached, and what does it mean to have a weight loss coach, and really like make this a lifestyle. Like I think those terms are so like abstract, and you're here to kind of bring some clarity to that. So I want to thank you guys. Elise lives in Baltimore, Maryland. Everyone say hi to Elise. If you're joining us live, say hi, Elise. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. So I know that you are here and you're enjoying Elise's testimony here, and also just her experience. So Elise, what I want to do first, a lot of people kind of read about your story, but what I want them to see is, what were your greatest struggles before reaching out for help?
Honestly, so many different things. I was trying all different kinds of workout routines, whether it was like forcing myself to do a ton of cardio at the gym or trying different apps, and I just couldn't get with a schedule or a regimen that I liked. So I wouldn't stick with anything long enough that I probably ever would have seen results, or I just didn't enjoy it enough or have enough fun with it to keep wanting to do it. So I actually got to the point where, I was like a varsity athlete in high school and worked out all in college, but then being on my own after that, not having those kinds of resources, I essentially just stopped working out, which obviously was a huge part of my life, because you do get out of shape, you probably will gain some weight, and my stress and anxiety went through the roof, and I didn't even realize it because I didn't have that outlet. So that was a huge struggle. And then similarly with the diet, I'm technically a pescatarian, but I definitely wasn't like getting enough protein, and I didn't realize how important things like that were. I wouldn't say starving myself dramatically, but definitely not getting the right amount of nutrients and balance. There were some days where I was overeating and snacking, and others where I maybe had one meal a day because of stress or whatnot. So the struggle overall was just consistency and like motivation to find a good routine that I really loved.
Yeah, that's the key too, is I know that was like one of the things we talked about in our very first phone call, is that you just had the trouble with the consistency, right? Like you would do the workouts and then not stick to it. So comment in the chat here if you find yourself in that same situation as Elise, where like you have a hard time finding something that you can stick to, something that you enjoy, you kind of like go on and off the wagon. So comment in the chat if you feel that way. Elise, just so you know, Amy's here. She says hi. Jen is here. She says hi as well. We got Erica.
We got all the workout crew.
Yeah, the workout crew. Yeah, guys, we work out on Zoom together. Yeah, we got a little fam. Yeah, so I totally, understand those. And that's something I hear a lot too, is the lack of consistency. So, when we work together, obviously, we created some consistency, actually a lot of consistency, because you lost 20 pounds. So it definitely paid off. So like, what were your favorite parts of the program that helped you create that consistency?
So kind of looking back and how I progressed, when you told me about doing a food journal, I was like, no, this isn't for me. Like, I don't journal. It's going to be such a chore. And I mean, although it was kind of a task I did at the end of each day, it helped with consistency so much. And not just that, but like also what I was learning and that balance. I know one of the problems I had even at the beginning of the program was still not enough protein, and then balancing carbs and fats as we worked on, and then seeing it and writing it in the food journal, I was finding that balance. really seeing my progress even in just my diet alone. So I actually ended up loving that at the end. Plus I'm psychotic and it was all like color coded and everything, but I started to enjoy it. And then I actually turned it into not just a food journal, but writing at the end of the day what I was grateful for. And that helped change my mindset so much, because instead of all the negative thoughts I would get at the end of the day when, you don't have anything else to distract you, I was writing what I was grateful for. And that's, kind of what I went to bed thinking about, which helped immensely. And I never would have thought that. So that was definitely one thing that I was surprised I actually enjoyed, to be honest. Second off, the workout routine for sure. Having a group Zoom workout class was such motivation, because even though I've given up on myself, I'm a hyper competitive person. So seeing like some of the other people on it, like Danita and Amy and the other girls and Jen and everyone, it was like, oh, they're still doing push-ups and I'm tired. Like, no, I'm going to keep doing push-ups because they can't like go longer than me. So it's crazy, but in a good way. It was such a good group and support system in that sense, which is obviously why I'm still going to keep working out with you, because I'd rather not do it on my own and with like this friend and kind of familial support system. So another beautiful thing that actually made me go from dreading strength training and workout to wanting to strength train, 3 to 4 times a week on top of other workouts. So that's just a huge thing. And then the main other thing is, you've obviously heard Kristen preach it, but food freedom is a real thing. I literally ended up loving everything, because even though a lot of it, at least in my book, was just substitution, it was like, you can still eat pizza, but, just how can you make it healthier with more veggies? Or even if you're going to eat like a really bad pizza that you're looking forward to on the weekend, just, the day leading up to it, just eat more veggies and less carbs or whatever. So the fact that I was able to still drink, honestly, because I am at that younger age where all my friends are still drinking and partying, and it's not me all the time, but I didn't want to feel like I had to say no or stay behind. So I was able to do that. I've been away pretty much every weekend this summer. I mean, I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow. And obviously when you're away, it's harder to control what you're eating and not cooking for yourself. So the fact that I was still able to go out and either just know how to best modify my meals, or just get what I wanted and know that I did very good with myself during the week, so I could kind of like cheat a little bit, that was fine. And clearly here I am 20 pounds later, eating what I want and looking even better than I did before when I was restricting myself. So clearly, something clicked there. So food freedom, another amazing thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so funny because I feel like, some of your most successful weeks during our 12 weeks together was like the weekends when you did travel. I remember you went to like Ocean City, Maryland, and you had like orange crushes, and like I'm an orange crush girl. It's like that was my wedding cocktail, you guys. Like I literally brought a juice press down from my house in here in Delray Beach to Key West, Florida. It's like 4.5 hours. I brought my own juice press, had my own oranges. Like that was like a non-negotiable for me. So like you would have like the cocktails you enjoyed, you'd have like your lobster roll, and I know you love seafood, and like it wasn't a thing. And it's funny because you would come back from those weekends, you're like, I'm down weight, like those were actually some of your best weekends. And I loved hearing that, because so many people, they think that they can't travel to lose weight, or a lot of people I've worked with like, well, I'm gonna wait till I'm done traveling. And it's like, you traveled all summer and lost this weight, it's crazy. And also, like, I was thinking back to, like, we met in May. We started working together at the end of May, right? So it was like right in the midst of COVID when all this shenanigans was happening. And then summer was coming. And for a lot of people, they might like think it's not the right time. Like, oh my gosh, but you made the best of it and you crushed it, So that's just so inspiring. And so what do you think like were your biggest successes? Obviously the consistency with the workouts and, learning how to balance your macronutrients. We didn't count macros, we didn't count calories. But what were your other successes, would you say?
Yeah, definitely never counted any numbers besides occasionally looking at the scale. But I'd say, yeah, like you said, the consistency, and like more of a success than the consistency itself was just how much I was enjoying what I was doing. And that's what caused the consistency, because if I still felt restricted or something, or like didn't like the workouts, it wasn't going to stick. And obviously I wouldn't have made it this far. So just the fact that I found so much joy in this kind of lifestyle I've created, I consider such a huge win. And then something I know that we worked on, maybe not as much in the beginning, but moving through the process, was the mindset. And as we both know, that's probably my biggest success. It sounds crazy. I lost 20 pounds, but that didn't happen until like the last 4 weeks of the 12-week program. And like every single week, my weight was exactly the same. I may have looked a tiny bit different, I'm not sure, but weight was exactly the same. And then one week, everything with mindset training that Kristen taught about, just like really evaluating your circumstances and how you feel about them, and even more so how you're reacting. As you might have seen in my posts, I didn't even realize if someone asked me I had anxiety, I would say no, because I was so constantly anxious that I didn't realize like that was my consistent state of life. So being able to combat that and just not let little issues that I always let affect me, because I took a step back and said, okay, what's really happening? Let's think about this. And I don't know why it never clicked before. I've been to other kinds of therapists and everything, and it just never seemed to click with me. So it was such a huge thing. And even on those weekends when I went away, if I ate a lobster roll or, drank whatever, normally I would have come back like, oh my gosh, like I probably gained 10 pounds. Like I can't do that ever again. Like I messed up. But I was like, no, you know what? Like I enjoyed myself. I indulged. Going to go back into the week strong and, get back onto the cleaner eating and the working out. And that's that. And I don't know who I am anymore, because I never would have been like that. So that's probably the biggest success, and obviously where the results started showing. So
yeah. Oh my gosh, just like I'm getting like goosebumps and like hot sweats and all kinds of emotions right now. Talk about emotions, like oh my god, I'm just like reliving the story with you. It's like it's my favorite job part is being a coach, is like just seeing this unfold. And like Elise is really someone that was like a caterpillar that just blossomed to this butterfly, and it just like almost brings me to tears. But and that's why I really wanted Elise to share this story, because as she told you guys, like the first 8 weeks of her journey, like her weight was like pretty stagnant, and she never questioned the process. Like, she was never like, oh, I want to throw in the towel. Like, this is not working. Like, why bother working out? Why bother eating healthy? Like, it's not working. She never doubted this process for 1 minute ever. And I want to give her all the credit in the world for that, because I know how hard that is, especially for someone like Elise. As she said before, like she has struggled so much in the past. And then so she signs up to work with me. And the first, 6-8 weeks, she's like, what's going on? But like, she was just like she showed up, every week for our calls. She put in the work and the mindset training. And finally, guys, like it just clicked. And that's when the weight drops. And you went away that weekend. Like I remember. And that's why I always say, guys, and as Elise said, actually, Diane just says in the group here, mindset is everything. Danita said the same thing. You're getting a lot of comments here, Elise. Mindset is key. And our mind is it is something we have to work, just like our biceps and our legs and our booties, and eating healthy food. It's all related. How we do one thing is how we do everything. I say that constantly. And Elise was living proof of that. And that is why she was so successful, because she trusted the process. She was patient. And I told her that this was going to work if she followed through. And Elise, like you did everything that I asked of you. You really did. And that's why you were successful. And I was just so proud of you, because I know many people, comment below if you've been in that position where you've tried and tried, nothing works, and just throw in the towel. And I know if Elise were on her own, you might have, right? But we had a strategy. Yeah, food freedom, we talk about that. But the mindset is a huge part of food freedom, because you can eat the foods that you want and not feel guilty and lose weight, but you have to work up here. And she did. And that's who the girl is in front of us. It was all up here, as she said. Oh my gosh. I get the chills just by going through this. Okay. So, speaking about like the struggles, right? And this is why I want to share the story, because when sometimes we see people, lose 20 pounds, we think it's super easy. They just follow a diet, they work out, and like it comes off, boom. But for Elise, it wasn't just about that, as we just said. So Elise, like, what was it like working with a coach, and are you happy that you did that? Like, for the 12 weeks that we worked together, was 12 weeks like too long for you? Was it just right? Like, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I mean, just to put it straightforward in terms of the timeline, as I mentioned, the weight itself and real results didn't kick in until the last 4 weeks. So if I had done a shorter program, I mean, who knows where I'd be right now, but probably not in as great of a place as I was having you as a coach for that full 12 weeks. And again, clearly here I am. Um, so definitely recommend that timeline, because I feel like in terms of weight loss, obviously everyone's different. I mean, I've been at points in my life where I like wasn't eating for different problems and I was very skinny, and then other times the same thing and like on the heavier side. So everyone's very different. But that's why it is a process or a journey, because it takes time. You know, it's not something you're going to get immediately, at least in a healthy manner that, you know, can last a lifetime versus some kind of yo-yo quick fix kind of thing. So definitely think that was great. And then in terms of having you as a coach, I would definitely not be where I am without one. I mean, the accountability, the motivation. There were days where I would, you know, I sent Kristen my food journal each week before our one-on-ones, and I knew that if I wrote like, you know, had an ice cream sundae every single night or whatever it may be, like she was going to be like, okay, what are you doing? You're trying to lose weight here. So it was like, oh, well, and in a good way. It wasn't like you were micromanaging my life. It was just, you know, I kind of needed someone to pull the reins in a little bit because I didn't have that willpower and motivation myself. And then the same with working out. Like I remember I don't even think I got on the workouts the first couple weeks of my program. And then you were like, yeah, you should try it. Like, you know, all these people on it have been doing great. And I'm like, okay, fine, we'll do it. Like I was worried because I'm like, I'm out of shape. I'm probably not going to be as good. And I mean, maybe I wasn't as good in the first place, but here I am now, like I think doing just as well. And if Kristen hadn't pushed me to try that, I wouldn't have. But ever since day one of those Zoom workouts, I've been doing them 3 days a week. And even if I can't make it on the call live, I'm watching her recordings and doing them because it's that important to me and that instilled at this point. And again, without a coach, I probably wouldn't have made it there. And then that again with the mindset, you know, I'll beat a dead horse with that one. But if I didn't work with Kristen on, you know, how I was reacting to things and dealing with things, I'd probably still, just to be blatantly honest, like I was on like antidepressant and anxiety medication before I found Kristen. And I mean, not that they were working well either, but I didn't really want to be putting more substances in my body that I didn't have to. And I worked with her, haven't been on those for months, and I'm probably the happiest and most confident and most stress-free I've been. And again, to keep saying it, but without a coach, you know, I don't think it would have been brought to light exactly what all those issues were and what I really needed fixed. So sometimes you need almost a third party. You know, I still haven't met Kristen even in person, which is crazy, but sometimes you need someone who you haven't known your whole life or something like that to come in and look at it from a different perspective and say, you know, what can we really do to change here? And again, here we are a little over 12 weeks later and a totally different person. So,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, you literally found me online, and it's interesting because you live in Baltimore and I used to live outside DC. You know, we were not too far from each other, but like, it's crazy how like this time of COVID, you know, and the internet like brought us together. And that again, like you trusted me with something that we were really struggling with. And I love how you said, you know, that you're off the medications. I mean, guys, like that's huge. I mean, that's bigger than weight loss. Like even if you didn't lose the 20 pounds, like, and you got that, like that's everything. And I love how you said like focusing on the mind, because a lot of times, guys, it's very easy to focus on what's not the big factor. Like we focus on, oh, just getting the workouts in, oh, just getting the nutrition in. But it wasn't until she focused on the other things that we really saw the biggest change. And so, yeah, it is, you know, I always say it's 21 days to create a habit and 90 days to create the lifestyle. And again, like, I'm just so thankful for your patience. And that's the key, guys, because a lot of us, you know, comment in the chat here if you don't have patience. Like you just like, I want instant results, like right now, you know, and that's sometimes yeah, that was Elise. Yeah. And I used to be the same way. Oh my gosh, like I put in hours in the gym and I would eat super clean and like you know, it would work for me, but I hated my life. And that's kind of where food freedom has come into play, because I want people to, you know, have ice cream during the week. And Elise still did, like she still had ice cream, but like not as much as she used to, right? So we kind of like learned how to have that balance, right? And yeah, I always said too, I'm not the food police. I'm not here to say like you're eating bad, right? Like, but like how can we tweak what you're currently doing, little swaps here and there to start seeing change. Because if we want to change our bodies, guys, we have to make changes in our life. Okay. And sometimes they're not super comfortable, but sometimes like just that little push is the game changer. Right. And so that was huge. And Elise, like, again, like just your faith and just like you put 1,000% of your heart and your mind and your energy into this program. And because of that, you're so successful. Jen is here on the call. She said, Elise the ninja. Yeah, so we have our workouts and I always call Elise the ninja. And it's so funny because as Elise mentioned earlier, like she wasn't even working out with really much prior to our classes, and like my Zoom classes, like they're no joke, you know, they're intense. And you know, what were you gonna say, Elise? Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say they are intense. Like there are days where it's like, I think I'm gonna kill Kristen. And at the end of the workout, it's like, no, like I'm dripping sweat, but like I feel so good that it's like, even if you have a little bit of pain during the workout, again, first off, it's all in the mind, because I used to, you know, get a little sore lifting weights or whatever I was doing and say, nope, I'm over it. And now it's like, no, like I feel that soreness in a good way. Like we're going to keep pushing through. So, you know, it works out in the end. You just got to trust it and believe in yourself to push through it as well.
Yeah, exactly. What doesn't challenge you won't change you physically, but also mentally. And when we become physically strong, we also become mentally strong. And that's really, you know, what this is all about, you know? And so, and at least like you're living proof of it. So again, I want to, you know, thank you for sharing your story. And what I would love for you to share with everyone here watching us live, I'm trying to get more of the comments. We're on a little bit of a delay. You've got your cheerleaders, Danita, Jen are here. Kim's with us. She says, congrats, Elise, and Diane, a few others. But yeah, Elise, like because there's a lot of women who might be watching this, and men too. We have men that we work in the Create My Weight group too. And you've been an inspiration to them as well. You know, what are some words of inspiration that you have for people that want to achieve the same thing that you did over the last 12 weeks?
I mean, I definitely say, like I just said, first and foremost, like you have to believe in yourself that you're capable of change, because the times like in the past few months and years, like prior to working with Kristen, and again, all mindset too, but I was just like, you know, clearly I don't look different. The scale's not changing. It doesn't matter what I do. And like, I didn't believe in myself, and clearly I wasn't going to get results that way. And when I started this, as we mentioned, it took almost 2 months to start seeing change, but I never gave up on myself, because I was like, this isn't a quick fix. You know, you've got to be patient. It will work. You have to trust the process, which is something I would tell everyone. I went through like sorority recruitment in college, and they were like, trust the process. And I was like, oh my God. So then when Kristen said that, I was like, no, not this again. But I mean, it's very true. You have to trust it. It may take time. You may start off quick and then plateau, whatever it is, you have to trust it and believe in yourself, because if you don't, then you're not going to see the results, because that's also impacting your mindset, which is such a huge part. So I would just really say, believe in yourself, believe in Kristen. If you work with her, you're going to see results. I personally, I mean, again, I don't know the median age range you work with, but I'm still younger, like 24 going on 25. And the fact that I was still struggling so much at, you know, a younger age and not able to just bounce back like you would think, you know, you just got to really go with it and believe in it, and it will work out. You know, everyone has their struggles, but it works out. And Kristen has done a beautiful job with helping me with literally every aspect in life. It's crazy. Like I have so many more goals and aspirations now, and it takes a lot of work to get there, but it's so worth it. And I think I'm healthier now than I was when I was like a high school varsity athlete or something. So the fact that I could say that, like, you know, it's possible for anyone. And she's so patient with everyone, like no matter what point you're at. So you just got to believe it.
Oh, thank you, Elise, for that. And I'm so glad that you brought up the age, because, you know, I hear a lot of men and women say, oh, I'm 40 something, I'm 50 something, I'm 60 something, I'm 30 something, and it must be my age, and I can't lose weight, you know, or it's so much harder to lose weight. Comment in the chat if you feel the same way, or you've caught yourself saying that to yourself. And I want you guys to understand something. Like Elise is here, she's 24. Jen's here in the group too. She's 30 something. Danita is 57, right?
Yeah.
I mean, girl, you guys, and I say Danita's age because she's super proud of it. She should be. Because she
guys, Danita looks better than me, so like it works.
You're like when I see you working out in your outfits, I'm like, that is what I want to look like. Yeah. Exactly. And so literally, guys, it's all up here. When we have that thought that our age is what is holding us back, that is one of what I call the worst limiting beliefs, because that alone is going to lead us into self-sabotage. That I can't do this because I'm blank age, right? And you know what, at least like she didn't have that thought because she knows she's 24, but she had other limiting beliefs that we had to work through, you know, and everyone has those. And so that's why I always say, you know, mindset is 80% of the success on the weight loss journey and 20% is food and fitness. And I know in the fitness world, I've been in the fitness world, I was a trainer, I still am a trainer. You know, we say it's 80% nutrition and 20% fitness. No, it's not. Believe me, 80% mindset. Write this down if you're taking notes, all right? Or comment in the chat, 80-20, okay? 80% mindset, 20% food and fitness. That's what it is, right? And that's the ticket. That's the formula. If you're looking for a formula, there it is, right? But Elise, like those words were like perfect, like super inspiring. You know, you have to trust, to believe in yourself. I think that, you know, everyone that is watching this right now, whether it's replay or live, write in the chat, like, I believe in myself. I am worth it. I am enough. I can do this. You have to believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you are halfway there. I promise you. Okay.
And then also believe in Kristen, because obviously if I didn't put my trust in her, which again, I was going through a lot of life struggles, and then I would like cry with her some days, and I always said like I can't cry. So
yeah,
your trust in her as well, because she's clearly the expert here and knows what she's doing. So as long as you believe in yourself, like she'll guide you the rest of the way.
oh my gosh. Well, oh man, thank you. I'm like literally gonna start tearing up. But yeah, I remember you saying like I can't cry. I remember. And that's just a lot of like suppressing, you know? So yeah, Elise, again, I wanna thank you for being here and sharing your story. I wanna open up the questions. If you guys have any questions for Elise or for me, go ahead and comment in the chat. You know what? I think we're on a little bit of a delay with the live. It looks like it's a few minutes behind. So guys, like if you have a question, you can go ahead and write it down in the chat here, or in the comments rather, and Elise or I will reply depending on who it's for. But Elise is actually getting ready. She's going to North Carolina tomorrow. She's going away again. Super excited for her. So I don't want to hold her up too long. I'm just so grateful for her time. And just her energy and just her faith in not just me, but herself, because that's the biggest thing. It's, you know, this transformation is 10% me and 90% her. That's really how this works. But I'm just, Elise, again, like so grateful for you. And you know, although this is a tough year, I'm grateful for the time of COVID. It brought us together. The internet. I'm grateful for Zoom workouts, you know, because I feel like I see you all the time. And, you know, you guys out there, you know, if you're looking to, you know, have a same success story, you know, and everyone has a different journey. And Elise said that in the beginning, everyone's journey is different. Okay. But she struggled in the beginning, as she told you guys, you know, and some of you saw Jen's interview a few weeks ago, and, you know, she was a little bit more consistent throughout with her weight loss, but everyone's journey is different. So if you are ready, you believe in yourself, and you know that you just need some guidance, and you need someone to help you be patient and to show you the way, to work on your mindset, to get you into consistency with your nutrition and your fitness, but most importantly, like what you're doing. That's the key. Not following a diet you hate, not working out in a way you don't like, not feeling like this is just a quick fix, temporary, and then you're going to go figure out something else. You guys, Elise here is set for life. She doesn't need me anymore. She doesn't care about the scale. She knows what to do. Done and done. I mean, I get to see her. We work out together. It's the best. But in terms like no more food journal, doesn't need me. And even though it's annoying in the beginning, it helped because I could look at it and say, hey, let's tweak this. Let's do this. And then, but the biggest thing she needed tweaking was here, right? That's what needs to be tweaked. And that's what we did. That's what the journal became for you. Amongst other things, like you said, that was just one small piece of it. The journal is a very small piece of it, but it's part of the food freedom strategy. So if you're looking for
Perfect.
food freedom, yeah, if you're hashtag food freedom in the comments here. Oh, Danita wrote, believing that weight release is available to you. Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. Give Danita a high five. Woo woo, perfect. Yeah, she's the best too.
Yep.
All right, you guys, if you want to learn more about food freedom, what it looks like to work with me, if I can help you, you know, if you want answers to those questions, you want me to see, you know, what it is you're really struggling with, you know, what you really need in order to lose the weight that you want and have the happiness. That's the most important thing. Because as it is for Elise, like she's happy, you know, like, and even if she didn't lose the 20 pounds, like she overcame so many things. It's not always about weight loss, right? That's always something to do. So if you are looking for that happiness and just to know what to do and be set, book a free call with me. Just go to createmyweight.com/apply. Okay, and we'll have a phone call. We'll get crystal clear on what it is you need to be successful, and I can help you just like I helped Elise, just like Danita and Jen here in the group. Amy is with us as well, helping her right now, all the way from Denver, Colorado. I was just telling Elise, I was like, I need to go out to Colorado more often. Oh, my favorite place ever. But yeah, Elise, I want to thank you again so much for joining us. I know you have to go get packing and stuff. But yeah, guys, if you have questions, drop them in the comments here. We'll answer them. I'll also put my booking link in the comments as well, createmyweight.com/apply. And I'd love to connect with you and see if we can create your success story. That's what Create My Weight is all about, creating your story and creating your future. Because look at Elise now, Elise 2.0. She has so many goals now. Oh my gosh, so many things she wants to accomplish. And weight loss is not even one of them. Done with that.
Yep, we're good.
Next, on to the next. All right, you guys, we're going to sign off here. But thank you for joining, and I will see you guys in the group. All right, have a good night. Thank you, Elise, and I will see you tomorrow for our workout.